So with no further ado, please virtually put your hands together for our very own Sister Amanda Clarke.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see those virtual hands clapped. Hello to our evening guests tonight. We're so grateful that you have come to support us. And I love that we have the men here too, even though it says women on mission, but the women don't walk alone. We go with the men. So thank you for coming. And I hope this session will be very informative for you, or maybe for somebody you know. I am not sharing my screen right now, sharing, but I will start begin. I just want to ask some curious questions just to see if this is the environment for all of us. Does your current career have the horsepower to take you to your dream? Does your current career, and I'm starting with us who have already earned a degree. That's why I'm starting. Does your current career have the horsepower to take you to your dream or has already taken you to your dream? It's important because that will help you set your children as guardians, as parents in the right path. And if currently your current career have not got the horsepower to get you to your dream, what are you doing different? Do you own your own business or do you work at somebody else's pleasure after you've earned your degrees? After you've earned associate, bachelor, master, are you working at somebody else's pleasure? You're clocked in to go at somebody else's time. Somebody control your time. Somebody control where you can be at a specific time. You set your alarm, you take them there. Though you have educated yourself to the max if possible. And if you're not there yet, what are you going to do different for your children? We're all preparing for college. Are you studying on time? And when should we start? When is the right time to start? We hear many parents say they're saving for their children. They've started. And the question I would say, if you have saved for the last 5 years and you're going to continue to save again the next 5 years, the same way you've done, how would that look to you? The same 5 years, the way you've saved for the last 5 years, you're given the opportunity to continue in the same likeness, as we would say as Christian. How does that look for you and your family? And then I'm hoping that we have a lot of our young people here. Hopefully, is your child education plan in place? How soon should we start? Does life just stops at college? Because that's what we all plan for, right? We're planning for college, we're saving for college. They're good. At least we're starting something. But does life just stops at college? What happens after they graduate from college? What plans do we have in place for parents? We set them up because I didn't know that you had to be set off here at a certain age because I come from a different culture. You only leave when you're married, but the American culture say after 18 or after college. But what are we sending them to? You can attest that just because you have a degree does not mean that you're set for financial success. True? And I want this to be a conversational tonight as we go through our presentation today. Sharon, do I have sharing power?
You should go ahead and give it a
Okay.
try.
All right. Yes, I do. All righty. So quickly. I'm gonna open the wrong thing. Whoops. That's my son. I bring him up. This is Orlando's dad. He came to school. He went to school and started here at age 16. Very smart, graduated at 3.75 GPA. And at age 23, he met his untimely, I call it, at age 23 on his birthday, a drunk driver, a female, ran into him and brought him to a near death. Near death. He had to be airlifted. 4 minutes from the accident scene to the hospital, to the trauma hospital, he would have been dead. As a mother, we were looking. He had finished college. He had finished high school. He's 23 now, going to college. The question to you and me, I didn't have money saved up. I didn't have money saved up that our drunk driver was going to bring him to near death. But we were ready for college. I co-signed a parent loan on top of my on top of my own loan that I owe. Should that be the way we plan? Does our plan have an emergency plan in the event that our children have something like what happened to my son at age 23? Are we just planning for college? Like we said, we're setting it off. So I'll bring you my story really quick. I keep coming here to this. Why does this information that we're sharing matters? That's Bill and I. Both Bill and I never had parents that went to school, much more to talk about planning, right? They didn't plan for college. My dad stopped in ninth grade. My mother never went to school. Both parents never even entered the classroom. But at 80 years of age, I decided I was going to be a nurse. Why? Because my mother had told me I was the sickest of all her 5 children. So I was curious. Why was I so sick? So I remember telling my cousin, may her soul rest in peace, I'm going to be a doctor woman one day. And then for Bill, unfortunately, his dad also was a farmer. He got blind from the heat, extreme heat, trying to turn sugarcane into alcohol, and that heat blind his father. And he was the son that used to take his father's hands to go from farm to farm. But he remembered growing up in the village, a gentleman brought 5 of his boys there dressed up in black pants and black tie and white shirt. And he's like, I want to be like them one day in the village. Both persons in different villages don't know each other. I'm in the village 80 years old. I want to go to school one day and be a doctor or more. Bill wants to be like those boys. That's why if you see him, I don't know you, but I know that all of us have some voids in our life. Is that true? Would that be a true statement? You see Bill wearing his shirt and tie. His voice, well, he couldn't afford that. Those 5 boys reminded him. He has got in trouble many times at his job because they think he overdressed, but he's like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be like those 5 boys. We had no idea how we were going to go to school. I had to stay with family members. My dad worked for Firestone. So when he saw a good customer who he knew could afford, he would ask, I had 15 siblings. He would ask, can my daughter stay with you to go to school? Can my son stay with you to go to school? That's how we serve strangers to go to school. And Bill has similar story. He told me after he was staying with his brother to go to school, his sister-in-law said that they couldn't do it anymore. They took him back to the village to his blind father and his mother to go to school. And he told him, Ma, I can't stay here. I gotta go to school. He said, who do we have? Your brother was the only hope. One day he found his way to the city and went into an elementary school, became a friend with one of the students, had come to find out the student father was the principal, so he went to go stay with the principal, and he was serving the principal and his children to be able to go to school. Our parents never had any plan, but that didn't stop us. And why it matters that we're doing this, because we want to change things. So we went to school just by faith. And we got there. Bill was a physician assistant in Liberia, owned 6 drugstores before he came to the United States. I was a nurse before I came here. And then as most immigrants, we had to start over. We didn't come here with debt. But soon we accumulated debt because to go back to school and become a bachelor degree nurse and get a master degree, I didn't have the money, so I had to loan. And same thing with Bill when he came, he said, I'll go into a physician assistant. He said, let me just go do medical. Then he said, let me go do mental health. So he diverted totally. So both of us married with over $200,000 debt. So what are we doing different? That's why I asked. The job we have after graduation or master degree, when I get an offer with job, is $60,000 annual. That's without tax coming out. 60,000, 65,000 max annual pay. They don't ask any more about your degree or your experience of 26 years. So does your current job have the horsepower to give you your dream? What is that dream? I don't know what your dream is. I came here to make a difference because besides my one brother who worked in the bank, I was the next in line. I wanted to make a difference for my family. I want to be able to change my family financial situation. I want to be able to carry light to the village. I want to be able to, I couldn't go to school. I was in first grade at age 11 because there's no school in my village. So those are the dreams that I came for, to be able to give that life. And I was faced with reality. The first time I went to buy my mattress, I had $700, and they said, "No, you can't buy it. We need to credit you." I said, "I don't need to credit me. I got the money," right? I said, "This is breaking news." But so we changed that for our children by acting the way they told us. Most of us here make our decision based on what we were told. True, right? They said you can sign for a student loan and you can do parent loan too. When they tell us, most of us go to Google to find such, and the information I'm going to send you tonight, you're probably going to go, somebody just interrupted my whole presentation. Sorry about that. About the call. You're going to go to Google to go find your information. But how many of us go to Google? Can this man just, sorry. Sorry about that, Sister Sharon. And he will not stop. It's one of those things. Sorry. So I'm gonna have to just turn my phone off. Wait. So most of us act on, the information we got. They said get student loans. So we did. Then it was not enough. I had a co-signed. So my debt plus my children's, there's parent loan, which I didn't know. If they say they don't want to go to school anymore, like two of the boys, they stopped. So I'm responsible for that debt because it's parent loan. So many families are not fully prepared financially, not to mention the tuition costs. So what are we going to do different? My parents didn't go to school. I got loan, Bill got loan. Then we came and started our young children. We accumulated debt for them that they didn't even think they were going to have. But when it comes to the grandchildren, then we were clear. And how did we get clear? Because we stepped back and said, in 2019, I became very antsy. I was in debt. I'm like, it was affecting my worship. And I said, Lord, I need you to delete my debt. I don't know how you're going to do it. One of my pastors said, I don't need to tell you what to do, but I'm telling you what I want, that I want zero debt. Then the opportunity came for me to have this information that what was missing was that I did not know about money. I had gone to school, I got a degree, but I didn't know what I was going to be earning. I have not gone to school to learn about money. Question, if I came to your room tonight, I say, I am your nurse, I didn't really go to school, but I tell you that I got a nursing degree. I'm going to be giving you your shot tonight. You'll be like, hold on. What you just said? Listen, here's my badge. I'm an RN. I'm going to be the nurse tonight. You will have a second thought, won't you? How come we're working for money, but we never went to school for money? Nobody taught us, not even in our homes. And that is what's lacking in our community, the financial education. So 2019, I stepped back, and when somebody introduced me, They put in the form, they say a business. I said, I don't know nothing about business. I just want to be a nurse. But I knew that after that section and going for the last 4, 5 years or 6 years now, I know that that is what lacking in our community. And that is why we and Bill and I are very passionate about sharing the information with our family. The cost of life, I don't need to tell anybody when you do to go to the gas station that I don't care how you pray, you will not take that pump and say, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the price drop. No way, right? I don't care how nicely you eat healthy, you go to the grocery store. It is not about what you eat. They're expensive. So that's what early planning does. So we have what is one of our mission is to help 5,000 plus children to not be in the position that we are in, to not be in this position that our children are in, but to be in the position that we've set our grandchildren in. We work with and create generation impact. We want to impact families. I see a delay coming in, Sherry. I think was it because like when I'm speaking my I don't know. It's like it's slow. Is
Uh,
everybody hearing?
yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
It's just probably bandwidth.
okay. Okay. So we're trying to just make sure that families today are securing a future for generation. And we started all our grandchildren. I went to Adventist school just for 1 year, the 12th grade, because what the war came to Liberia, and there was no way for me to go to the public school, which was free, and I was in the 12th grade. So the registrar was in the church with me, and one of my friends said, "Why don't you go talk to him and just maybe he'll help you. You can just prepay or pay later," whatever he said. I said, I never went to private school, but I went to Eleganis, and he said, yes, when you get the money, bring it. How would I gonna get the money? So I went to church. I wrote back every Sabbath. I wrote like 5 different notes. I would go from class to class, and I would put a little piece of sheet in somebody's hand asking to please help me with my tuition for that school. That's how I graduated from Adventist High School, just that 1 year. But now, with what I've learned, I am certain by the grace of God, Noah is going to go to Adventist school because we have put a plan in place at age 2. That's why I asked the question, how early should you start? So that's the goal. We want to help families to do what we're doing, what we've done for our 3 grandchildren, so that I know when Noah go to Adventist school from right here, Fairfield, all the way to wherever he wants to go, he will not come from there with debt. And we don't just want to hold it to ourselves. We want to share it with as many. And that's why I transitioned from being a nurse because I didn't serve the community to a greater extent as a nurse. I didn't see my church people in the hospital, not that I wanted sick, and I'm happy for that. But with this opportunity, the length and breadth is limited as to who I can share this with because you know that we're having a lot of children. When Sabbath school coming, the story, the front is packed. And so I felt the need, both of us felt the need that we need to share with the family of God and the people beyond what we're doing for ourselves and for other communities to share with you. So that's one of our vision to make sure that every child that we can help when they walk out of those on those stage, are they going to be walking with pressure or are they going to be walking with joy? So we want you to join us, join our mission to share with your child graduate with a degree or a debt. What are we doing different? That's the conversation we want to have. What have you done different? And you can open the mic. This is a conversation. If you have saved for your child, I know Sister Sharon, your daughter Sarah is going to be going soon. Can you tell us what did you do?
Tell you what we did for her to go to school.
Yes, what plan did you use?
Oh, savings just saved over the years. And we have I might get the name wrong, but it's the 50, what is the Chet?
Five
It's called
529?
yeah, Chet. It's called Chet. Yeah, the Connecticut Education something something. Mhm.
529 saving. That's good.
Mhm.
Anybody else? How did you know how much you were saving, Sister Sharon, that it's going to be enough? How did you? come about? Did you just put
Uh,
any amount anytime, or was a fixed amount? Did you double it? You know?
it was a fixed amount at birth, like starting from birth all the way till she's 18, because it was based on our income. And we've been to college, as you said. Most of us have some gone to some extended school, so we had an idea of how much tuition and books and boarding and all that stuff would cost.
Yes. You can see, thank you. Thank you for sharing. You can see this woman. She's looking at her tuition for her child, but like tuition and fees, housing if they're gonna go away, because someone they want to go away, just a little break to have it, right? But it comes with crap price. The meal cost, Sarafina went right here to Bridgeport, which was less than 5 minutes. There was cost for food when she could just drive home. And the 529 plans, Sister Sharon, true or false, does it include meals, books,
Uh,
boarding?
no,
All
it's just
right.
you putting money towards whatever you want to use it to at the end.
Tuition. Yes. And that's good. And like I said, all of us act on what we are told. And then if Sister Sherry, if I ask her, besides saving the bank and savings for the 529 plans, was there an alternative that you were shown besides the 529 to
I,
compare to the 529? Here is another option besides just regular saving.
yeah, there probably was through our organizations that we work for. They have seminars that they put on and things to help you and literature to help you. So between my spouse and I, we knew there are other options, but based on our income and based on what we were trying to do, we chose the 529.
There you go. Yes. And that's what we're giving, because most of us, what tonight, if we could show you an option, in addition to the 529s, and hats out to you, Sister Shireen, the 529 plans is what is brought to our community. Why? Because, like she said, it's a state loan. It's from Connecticut. So if Sarah wants to go to Rhode Island, that's just like an hour and a half, she cannot use that 529. True? Because it was only for Connecticut. So that's one of the restrictions that's put on it, on this 529. What if Sarah decided that she doesn't like any of the colleges in Connecticut? Now her parents are stuck, right? Now her parents are stuck. And if Sarah does not go to the regular academic, if she decides she wants to be a ballet dancer or be a musician, it's not for it. It's for regular college. What if you were given the alternative for a plan that does not restrict you, right? You would have picked, wow, she doesn't have to stay in Connecticut. She's free. And you know what? And she can go, she can do whatever she wants to do with a musician or pilot or whatever she wants to do. But this one only says this. And then after school, this plan is done if you use it for its purpose. But then Sarah comes back at 24, then what? What if you had a plan that just not stop, does not stop at graduation? Would you have picked that? So tonight, here are the fingers. We have science, we have engineering, we have medicine, politics, or what other degrees. This is what we have in our community. But how about the term, the education for money, that will allow us to be our own bosses? Why we're giving option that the plan that we are talking about, if Sarah decides she doesn't want to go to school, she can use her money to start a business. But that's not the option her parents have. And that's what we're trying to show our people, the secret of the 5%. The worthy people do not stay safe just for college. They save for the lives of their children. They save beyond, they prepare for their children beyond college. Because we know that there is life after college. And between college and life, like my son, he was done with high school. I'm now 23, he got hit to a near-death accident. It was not part of that college plan that I signed for, that parent loan that I signed for. So what happened if something happens to the child? Or maybe you, God forbid, or me, we start saving. What if my income get interrupted due to a health reason? Inflation is here or downturn, the market loss, or you lose your job, the company lay off. Did that get included in the plan? The plan that was supposed to be monthly, like she said, based on both of us income. Do we have that in between in case that happens? Who will continue to pay for the money? The savings that we're putting down. Our next steps will be the money you're saving. Where are you saving it? Because no matter what, there are three ways your money will grow. You heard Sister Sharon, she said she's saving. Most of us have bank's account. True? Yes. How's that working? If you don't put, we all have probably the direct deposit, makes it easy. If you don't want to pay that $5 fee, you now can go to your employer and say, I want you to put my 2 weeks pay in my bank. And it will come directly there to avoid, they say, paperless. But how much of that money that you're saving for your children, how much does the bank add to that money? She saved from that's 18 years plus. What if Sister Sharon had the opportunity to save for 18 years where her money was compounding? We all learned the compound in math, compounding in math. But yes, money can compound if you put it to the right place. If you're saving in the bank, how much does your bank give you? Bank of America give me 0.0%. It has never reached $2 since for the last 26 years I've been putting money in there, right? That's 0.0%. If it gets to $1, I get a check. I get a paper at the end of the year that I need to file taxes. It's called double taxation. You pay taxes at work and then you put it into the bank because they give you 0.0% and they went to $2. Now you're supposed to file tax and pay that tax. That's why Warren Buffett said when they asked him his secret to his success, he said, one, he said he does not want double taxation, right? He does not want no taxation. He never wants to lose money. He just wants to grow his money and never lose money. First one, grow money, never lose it. Second one, never forget rule number one. Third, no double taxation. Fourth, he does not want money manager. If Warren Buffett said, number one, grow my money, I never want to lose it. Number two, I never want to forget number one. Number three, I don't want double taxation. Number four, I do not want money manager. What does that mean? We come to the second part. Most of us parents who are saving for our children, and they're going to do exactly what we're doing because we're examples. All of us, or most of us, must have our income in this second phase of where money grows. It's called variable. We know when you have variable options, that means you can have, you're not just one color, not red, and that's it. Your color can be blue, red, whatever, but your money is in this account. You're not sending your children off to college and they're going to come back and start working and they're going to follow directly in your footsteps. They're going to open bank account if they already don't have it. They're going to be employed. And then the employer is going to say, welcome, my little nephew, Nathan just, Sister Arlene's son just got his first job. He's going to Florida. Praise the Lord. He's going to start working and they're going to tell him, welcome to our retirement plan. Did you hear that? Listen, Sister Shireen is works in the HR. They never tell you, welcome to your employer, your own self plan. They say, we have our retirement plan. Sister Shireen, am I correct? Working in HR, do you tell us we have our retirement plan here?
I don't work in that part of HR.
Do it. Oh, let somebody tell me. Somebody say, we have our retirement plans we would like for you to take advantage of. Doing orientation. True. Anybody open
That
your mic?
that that is correct. That is correct.
Yes, they tell you, we have our retirement plan that we would like for you to be a part of. You hear our plans. But like I said, all of us act on based on what we are told. So we say, okay, sign me up. I want to be part of your plan. What if you had your own plan designed to fit your lifestyle instead of joining their plan? You don't know when they were putting their plans together. You don't know what it is. So college is not just about saving the money because they're going to come back. So, and it also depends on the parents. Some of us have saved in these plans with the hope that we were going to use it for our children's college. The unexpected have happened since January until lately. As you can see this graph going up and going down, that's the variable. The money that some parents have saved in this account, they've lost it. They've lost a lot of it, which did not prepare them for now. College is going to be, school is going to be closing, and the kids are going to be going to school in August. Who's going to make up for that difference? Question to you tonight. What if you had an alternative to these first two? Everyone have a cell phone. If I bought my cell phone $1,000 last year, and I have $1,000 saved because maybe in the next 3 years something will happen to my cell phone, and then we're now here next year I'll go to what do you call it, T-Mobile. I want the same phone that I bought in 2025 for $1,000. My phone is cracked. I don't like it. I want the same phone. T-Mobile said phone is 1,300. Can I still afford that phone? No. Because what? My buying price, I've lost it. I saved $1,000, but because of inflation, price has gone up. So even though I have my money saved in the bank, nothing lost, but I have lost money because now I have to make up the difference for that cell phone. And now I have to take some extra money from my saving. So you might think that your money is safe in the bank. You have lost your buying power right now due to inflation. The elite that studied money, they prepare for this time. Warren Buffett said wherever he's saving his money, it should be growing above 3%. So that when inflation takes place, his buying power still remains because his 3% growth will make up for what the price will be. So they save their money not in the bank because when inflation takes place as it is now, they don't worry. We are worried. But the money have already compounded above inflation, so they're ready for that. They can swap their cards. What if somebody was ready to retire in May and recently because of the Iran war and they've lost all their retirement or half of it? My friend in Minnesota, she's a nurse. She just left in the VA to another job. She was about to roll over her money into the fixed index annuity so she doesn't lose it. She had 11,500. And she was on the phone. Me and her had just talked. And then the next thing she texted me, she said, I'm depressed. I said, we just talked. What she depressed about? How fast can somebody get depressed? I call her. She was on the phone, trembling. She only had 5,300 left. Mind you, she got injured on the job by a nurse twisting her fingers. So she's been out of job for a year and a half. She just went back. She was about to take some of that money to pay her mortgage, and she lost everything. Who do you hold? Who is accountable when you lose your money here in the variable account? Who's responsible? If you're with the government, you having your TSP. Some put it in the Roth. They're saving for themselves. They pay the tax before they put it in the Roth IRA. That's good. There's a little restriction to that. So it matters what you're saving for your children because you could end up with debt. Tonight, what if we can show you an alternative to these two accounts? Who've heard about index? Unmute your phone and just tell me, what if we can have the alternative to put your money into the index account? Who have heard about the index account? You can answer. This is interactive. What is the difference between the three? Because you are saving your money here, but somebody is saving your money in the index account, whether you like it or not, okay? And it's because they read a book. It's not that we didn't read books. We read the books, but we didn't read the book that had to do with money. So we don't know where we put our money. So those of us that are in, I'm not in my 60s yet, but I'm just going there. When my husband turned 60 last year, I was having palpitation. I was a Bill. If we didn't know this information, you only got 5 more years to retire. Do you know what that would have meant for us financially? And that bothers me. In fact, who told us that we have to be 65 to retire? Why should somebody tell us when to retire? Let's have this conversation. Do you see what I'm talking about? Everything they tell us, should retirement be about age or when you want to? And how would you want to retire? You can only want to retire if you have control of how much money. It should be about how much money you have, not age. The 5% elite, they don't retire at 65 or 59. Who took, is this scripture? Where's Christian? Is this scripture? No. Why are they telling us we should retire at 65 or 59 and a half? You work for your money. You save it. I'm saying this because our children were going to tell them the same story. You got to save because at 65, you're going to retire. No, they don't have to retire at 65 if we show them where to put the money sooner and if we start our parents sooner and we guide them. Because retirement is not about age. It's about how much money you have. And your money is only guaranteed based on where you save it. Here's the index account. The index account is where you never lose money. You can never worry about inflation because your money is going to grow beyond 3 to 5%. So when inflation comes, that cell phone that I wanted to buy at 1,000, that's now 300, I have added, I can buy it because my money has compounded. My money has doubled. What if we can show you how you can put your money here? This account, the variable one that your employer say, welcome to my retirement plan, to our retirement plan. We trusted them. We put our money there. What if we told you you can put the same amount of money now in this index account? The reason why you don't have to lose money because now it's insured. Anything that's insured cannot just be lost without somebody being responsible, somebody being accountable. You cannot call Fidelity tomorrow, Monday, and say, can you tell me what happened to my money? Which of them have called you? Vanguard have called anybody in the last month and say, you just lost about $3,000 in your account. They are your money managers. They get 2% of your total amount. Did the employer tell you that? If you have $600,000 in your account, Fidelity is legally allowed to take 2% annually, whether you have lost money or whether you gain money or not, they will take 2% of that money. Try taking 2% of your own money tomorrow and see if you're not going to get taxed if you're not 65 or 59. Should you be saving your money? Because in this index account, you can take your money out anytime, whether you're 65 or whether you're 59 and a half. There's a tax code attached to it, the same tax code they attach to the 401k, they call it 401k, TSB, 43B, Roth IRA. It depends on what company you're working for. If you're working for a religious, they'll call 43B. If you're working for another institution like Yale or the other people, not Bridgeport, it's 401k. If you're working for the federal, it's TSP. It's rough. If you decide you want to save your own money, the government tax you, and then you put it again. And then that rough IRA, you cannot go above 7,000. Can you believe it? Whatever can show you that it's index account, you can put as much as the federal government allows you. And it's not restricted to $7,000 in the Roth IRA. It's not restricted to $25,000 in the 401k. What if you have more money and you want to put in your 401k? You cannot. But in this index account, where the money compounds, where the money never lost, where you can take this money with no penalty. This is where the president puts his money. He said, when I paused the button today, my friends made $10,000. In that debate between he and Hillary, he said, you created a system that I'm taking advantage of. He did not create any crime by not paying taxes, because in this index account, you cannot pay taxes. That's where you want to grow your money, tax-free. And then you can take that money and pay your children's school fees. And they don't have to owe no 529. They don't get go to any school of their choice. They don't have to be restricted because you use 529. This account is called 7702. Who have heard that tax code? Everything we do have tax code. 7702 account. You can start it from 2 weeks of age. 2 weeks of age, when the children are born, as soon as they get a Social Security, they open this account for them 2 weeks of age. And they grow the money there tax-free. The parents can use it to pay down houses, to pay down debt. It's growing until the child is ready to go to school, and then they send them to school for that college. And when they graduate from college, the plan now goes beyond college. We only plan for college. This plan is to age 121. But your 529 plan, it stops. You use it or you don't use it. You're saving if something happens. Even if something happens, you lost your job or you got sick, this plan is still growing money while you're sleeping. So your income is protected. It's there for your emergency fund. When your child is in college, you can buy a little condominium and it's being rented. That's passive income. When they come back, your family is set and you're ready. Whatever we could show you, that's the option. Would you be willing for us to share with you how this runs? Let me show you a little illustration. This 7702 account was there when the 401k was created. This is the 7702 that the Rockefeller used. Go and find the book. Don't go to Google. Go find the book on what did the Rockefeller do. Go on Amazon, buy the book called Money Worth Life Insurance. This is the 7702 account. It has two components. The first component is protection. Why is it so important? Children don't work. So the parents are the ones who are going to save the money. So this plan works as a protection for the parent, because when they're saving the money and something happens to them and they can't continue to bring that income, they need to be still taking care of the bills. This account will take care of that protection part. They can give them money if they get sick. It will cover critical illness. It will cover chronic illness. It will cover terminal illness. And if the person have to go to a rehab, there's a long-term care, there's an option. That's the first part. Remember I told you from 2 weeks old, you can have this plan for till age 21, your child. I get excited because I don't know what Noah's children are gonna look like, but I know now that Noah is gonna have to give what we've given him to his children. We are now passing on generation worth from the village with no formal education because of what we know now. When I leave this word, by his grace of God, Noah have not had children. I know his children, he has something that he's going to use and pass it on to his children's children. What does scripture say? Cursed is the man who do not leave generation, not one, generation after generations. We are Bible believers. Are we following the scripture? What are you leaving for your grandchildren and the second generation? This plan is when I pass away, my plan is they're going to give it to my children. Tax-free death benefit. Probate court, our community are not aware. This account does not go into probate court. Your saving account will go into probate court. Your 4K, 401k, your 403b will go into probate court. Do you want the government to decide how your hard-earned money should be distributed to your children? Or you want to have it in an account where you decide who should get what? Your saving, your checking, your 401k, your money market, they will go to probate court if you don't have it in the right account. You know who account just went into probate court? The Cash App guy. The guy who created Cash App. I just heard the person who created GoFundMe, he just passed away. I'm sure there are going to be GoFundMe too. Why? Because it's not that we're lazy. We just have the money. The government frees the money for 2 to 6 years if you don't have money to pay the probate court lawyers. They're going to determine who takes what. A will is only telling the court what to do, but it does not stop your account going to probate court. So I know most of us have will, but there's a part two to that. You have a will, but it's still going to go to probate court. Then the court decide. Why should the court know about your business? So that's the protection part of this income. And here's the part that matters to me most tonight, even though this first part, the saving. You start at age 2. 0 2. We started Noah as 2. You start at 2 weeks of age. Once they get their social security, you know why? Our children are being diagnosed with autistic. We just learned our son in Delaware. Yes, 2 days ago while we were in Dallas, we were told that he's got autistic. They put these plans on the children before they go for their first doctor visit. Why? Because if they tell your child that he's autistic or he got something, he doesn't qualify or she doesn't qualify. They take them, they're allowed to have this for 2 weeks old. And they start growing. You have cash, no restriction. Interest growing. If they say 15% today, you get 15% on it. You can withdraw it. You know how your 401k, when you withdraw money, you're going to get taxed, or you take loan, you're going to get taxed. You're going to have to pay with interest. This now you're going to start borrowing from yourself, and you have no obligation to pay that money. If you pass away, they're going to take the one that you loan, because there are 3 brackets: the money you've paid, the interest, and the death benefit. Let's say I got Noah is a $500,000 baby, right? All the interest will be in the middle. If we borrow from there, or maybe I borrow from my own plan and I didn't pay, whatever's going to be passed to Bill and my children, they're going to deduct what I took, and then they're going to give the rest of the interest plus the death benefit to the children. So you can loan from yourself. You don't need to go loan from the bank. You can use this as a down payment for your house, for the children's houses when they come back from school. No payback. You know how the creditors can be calling you, even if you take money from the credit card? No creditors, no bankruptcy, nothing comes. There's a system in here, but we don't know it because the book, they put in the book, they say if you want to hide information from the public, put it in the book. As soon as we leave from here, I have books I can give you, but somebody's going to go to Google. Google is people choices, what they want to put there. That's not research. Don't go there. You're not going to find it. If you have found it, our community will not be as rich with degrees, PhD, but struggling financially because they will not put it there for you and I. The state licensed me, both satisfied as a nurse, and I had to be licensed before this information is available to me, and I have the ability to teach. Do you know who's using this system? The banks. When are they gonna die? When is Bank of America got 24 billion in this account? Who money are they using? So you choose to use it, somebody's using it for you. So you may as well use it so that you can free up some cash and pay your children's school fees cash. On Wells Fargo, 19 billion. Chase Bank, Wells Fargo got 11 billion. Chase got 19. Bank of America got 24 billion. Go buy the book called Money Worth Life Insurance. It's on Amazon for $7. Go to page 11. You will see the banks, CVS, all the companies that we work for, they have this plan. When you go to the bank for $10,000, they're gonna give you, they say, give me 3 days. Because what? That's how long it takes for them to take this money from here. For them to put it there. Your balance is a number, but it's not there because they put this money here. Bank is in the business of making money. So tonight, I don't know where you're saving. We all are working. What if your income did not require you to be there? Most of us have 2 jobs. What if your third job could be this passive income, this opportunity index account? That could be your passive income, making money, whether you're sleeping, whether you're going to work, whether you go take a vacation, money is making for you. And then when you add it to your limited income, which is your hourly, there's only 8 hours. Some people got 3 jobs, but they still can't do the third 8 hour the whole time. What if you can come while you're at work, while you're sleeping? The question we ask, what account do you have that makes money for you while you're sleeping? You may not have money to open a business that's passive income or get a real estate. But with this passive income creation, you now can take money there and now have a real estate or open business. Now it become your passive income. And then you can retire when you want to retire, not somebody telling you at age 65. You may not need a passive income. You may already have a passive income, but where are you saving your money? If you're saving it only in the bank is using it also to create more passive income. That's why Bank of America have 24 billion in their account. We've shown you tonight where you can save your money. Is it in the fixed account and you're losing your buying ability because of inflation? Is it in a variable account where you can't hold nobody when you lose it? Or you want to save it in an index account where your growing power is limitless, and you can take it anytime. It's like your checking account. And not only for you, but you get to pass it on to your children. And now college is not just 23. When they come back, life is already set. And this same account wash is also for retirement. All the money you're gonna pay over the years when you reach this retirement, if it's design, the very money cannot be used for retirement. So you pay, retirement is ready, you use it for college. It's not good, wonderful. Same plan. You have it when you want a snow tire, you can swap it, right? And then you're gonna pass it on to your children's children as generation worth. Where's your money growing? We talk about inflation. I don't need to say that anymore. It is coming. The market downturn, we are just experiencing. Taxes. Who likes taxes? Not me as a nurse, because when I work those 16 hours, the money that I make is 1.5 for them and the other one for me. How would it feel for you to have an income that's growing tax-free? Nobody tax you. How does that feel? Now that you know that the bank is using your money in the index strategy and then have never told you. How does it feel that your workplace have taken your hard-earned money? Nobody sat down with you and designed your retirement, just like nobody sat down and give us alternative to the 529, the saving to say, what will college be like in the next 5 years for your daughter? Do you know what it is for 1 year now? Yes. Okay, so in the next 5 years, is interest going to be lower or is going to be higher? And if interest is going to be higher, are you saving to meet that? How do you know the money you're saving is enough? Same thing with retirement. How do you know what you're putting down every month, every 2 weeks? Did you consider the losses? How do you know what you're saving is going to be enough when you retire at their requirement, at their required age, when you're no longer going to have income? And then Uncle Sam said, they give you a seed. We say this, they give you a corn and say, go plant this seed, Sister Arlene. When it grows at 65, I'm going to come and take my taxes out. Ah, why you can't take your tax, or why it's just a seed? Do you know how much that would be when at 65 they come and get it from you? And at that time, you're not working anymore. You don't have passive income because maybe you wouldn't know about it. Statistics say after 5 years, most people go back to work. Because when Uncle's Bill Cousin is a nurse, he's serving the military, he's a nurse. Last year, they have his retirement party. When he saw how much they were going to take from his money, he said, I can't retire right now. He said, take it back. You're going back. He left the hospital doing travel nursing. Question to you, take your phone. I was asked this question. Calculate the number of years you've worked. Oh, yeah, let's everybody do this. Calculate the number of years you've worked times your last W-2 that you just got. Don't tell me. Just just look at that number. The number of years you work. When I did this, I had worked 24 years in America. So I put 24 years. It was COVID time, so there was a lot of extra pay. So I had 100,000. I times my 24 years times my 100,000. Do your calculation. And then I want you to log into your checking account if you can, see if that money is there. That's how much you're supposed to have right now. If you had that money or even half of it, would you have to wait for 65? Do you see why you can retire at your own time if you just knew? So I had that question asked, and they asked me, so how many, do you have that amount of money? I said, no. Do you have half of it saved? I said, no. And then they asked me, how many years do you have to 65? If you don't have this amount of money now, and you got less year to 65, how are you going to make up? What's going to change? Because I'm going to stay as a nurse to 65. If I didn't have it for 24 years and I got less 12 or more years to 65, what is going to change? What if we can show you now how to make up for this difference so that you can retire comfortably? And this money is not going to be what Uncle Sam is going to take from you. So you have something that's yours, not waiting for somebody to come divide. Would you be open? And that's an account that's protected. It will not go into probate court. Inflation will be in your favor. No market downturn. And that account, what you have now, your house is, if something happens to you today, do you want to transfer a mortgage to your spouse, or you want to transfer a house that's paid off? What do you want to transfer to your children? I went when my house, when one house were gonna go for foreclosure in Oregon, I went to the place, the auction. My heart bled. People houses, their parents had paid for the houses. It was just the taxes they couldn't pay, and the children let it go because they were fighting. Nobody wanted to take responsibility. Do you want to pass your debt, your student loan debt, your credit card debt, to your spouse, or you want for you to have the system pay for the debt? Because each of us have debt. Do you want your debt to be passed on to your spouse when you pass away? Or you want a system that's already put in place to pay for those debts? Two spouses are working, it's already hard. What if you pass away or you can't work? Do you want a system to have to pay your spouse the income you are making so they still have 100, or you want to die and be buried with your income And the statistics say it takes 10 years for the other spouse to even start. Do you want to be buried with your income, or you want a system that's in place that other people who have known about it to pay for your income while you're resting and waiting for the restoration? Or you want to be buried with your money? We're paying mortgages or rent. We talk about it all day. You want to pass a mortgage to your children or your spouse? Or you want to pay a house that's paid off? Expensive. Medications. When you pass away, the expensive, the bills. There's a system that could pay for this expensive. If something happens to you, whether pass away or sickness or whatever, what would you want? Because when one of us gets sick at our job, we're already making 100% income. It's not enough. And now when you get sick, they reduce it to 65%. When should you be getting the highest money? When you're sick, they reduce it to 65%, and your spouse is still hanging. You're alive, oh. I want us to be real librarians. You are alive, and they reduce it to 65%. What kind of system is this? Bill and I healthy, we're doing 100, we're having challenges. And now I'm sick all of a sudden. Okay, sister, man, 65%. And then after another 3 months, they give you, oh, you're so sick. I'm so sorry. We would love for you to be here, but please go take care of yourself. When things get better, your job will be waiting for you, because they have gone in your health record and saw your record. Now, your spouse got to be taken into the hospital every day, losing their hours, losing all their PTO. Now there's a financial crisis. If you had this index account, it will take care of all of that. Don't let the government divide your hard-earned income. Don't let the government go into your business. The guy who made the movie Painter, the young boy, he fell into this. His account is still in probate court. The guy who made Cash App, his account and his house in Florida are still in probate court. The queen, her account is still in probate court, even with her special needs child. So, if you want to know about that account, what happens tonight, there are 3 of us here. The one that's going to be said, great information system, and that was very great. Then I'm going to go think about it. That's one group. The one group they say, been there, done that, I've been doing this, I'm comfortable with it. I don't want to be like the Rockefeller, I don't want to be like the Trumps, I don't want to be like the Clinton. I love it. I'm just gonna I don't like changes, I'm just gonna stay with this, no problem. Some are gonna say, I think your best system, and they're gonna delay. Graduation begin. Student loan debt gradually begin their adult lives burdened by tens of thousands of dollars, limiting their choices for years to come. Parents have delayed their retirement. Many parents have sacrificed their own financial security to help their children, pushing their retirement even further away. Limited school choices will hurt by the 529. Family financial stress. There's pressure. The children want to go to brand new school. They want to go to Black History School, which is great. But what if you didn't have a plan? My people perish for lack of knowledge. Tonight, you remember that day when you had a baby in the room? My friend Terrence talked about it. That little child, it cried, it brought it to you, and then they lay on your belly and your tears came down. You look in the eyes, you look for your identity. From that day, heaven recorded, you are responsible for each child you brought into this world, whether they're an adult or not. The Lord is going to hold us not only for their salvation, but for the life they live. Oh, no man, nothing, lend and not borrow. Why are we not preaching those? Lend and not borrow. It is more blessed to give than to receive. How can we just talk about the benevolent account? We're supposed to start adding more because there's more need. Why the church not telling us don't bring any more? We can't give what we don't have. You see how he looking in the face of this little child? Can you look in your child's face? Have there been a time your child asked you for something and you said no, you walked away? How did that make you feel? Is your income protected? If they leave from college and start to work two jobs like you again and me, would their income be protected? Are they going to have a retirement at age 65 because it was the default that the workplace have said, or their retirement is going to be designed based on what they want? What are we leaving for our children? Generation poverty or generation worth? What legacy are you passing? Is your legacy preserved? I can't give my nursing degree to my daughter or Noah. If you're a business owner, what is your strategy to get out? But what I do now, my code, I can give it to any of my children if they want it. Wouldn't you want to start a business that you can pass the tax code to your children if they want it? Your retirement account is going to go down. You can't hold nobody because you didn't insure it. We can help you roll what you have over now into an account that guarantees you income for life. Did you hear me? What you have now that's bleeding, we can roll it over into an account that will guarantee you income for life, and you get to pass it on to your children. Children, whoever you name. And it's also serve as an emergency. Hospital bill will come from there. But if you leave it in that 401k, you can't transfer it. Uncle saying it's coming, because we can give you strategies that you can start taking it from there and putting it into that index account I told you about, legally, tax-free, putting it into the index account and lowering the amount so that when Uncle Sam come at 65, you have legally used the system to put it into the index account that's growing tax-free that you're going to pass to your children. And then when they come, this is why you came here at 65, take your own and let me go. How about that? We're happy. Text me. My phone number is on there. Let's sit down with you. We don't want to say, this is our retirement plan, join us. I could do an illustration for you, but it will not be for everybody. What matters tonight, when the time comes, will your child be ready? Will they walk across that stage with excitement or with a weight of debt already on their shoulders? The decision you make today determines the option your child will have tomorrow. Every family deserves the chance to give their children a strong, confident start in life. We're here to help you. No charge. That's what we love about this. People are afraid to take these advantages because they think it costs any money. Our numbers are here. Even if you're already set, you may just know a parent. All we want to do, those 500,000 children, we wanted to walk across the aisle. You see, I'm not smiling right there. This master degree was $350 a credit. $350 a credit for that master degree. And when I started in Oregon, it was $75 a credit. And fast forward for master degree, $350 for credit. Can you imagine? Don't give that to your children. But also don't handicap your retirement because you understand in the school. You have options. They may not be babies. They may be not where it's going. We know that there's life after college. So let's talk and let's plan for a better return. We can be able to give to the church. We're building, but we don't want to pass on debt. So I say thank you tonight for coming. Sister Shireen, I'm going to leave it. And if somebody have questions, I'm here to answer the questions. We thank you so much for coming and join our mission to help women. We can't help those women if we don't have anything for ourselves. A broke woman can't help another broke woman. So we thank you so much. It is a pleasure to serve our community, and I just love it. I don't have to have 16 hours in the hospital to do this. I love it. I'm talking to my people. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. We look forward to doing more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Amanda.